Hey guys, how's it going? I just released a new product online. It is my Star Wars inspired Greeble and parts kit, and it's only $8. Come on guys, that's like less than a hamburger these days. So you need this, and if you build spaceships, especially if you love the Star Wars aesthetic, this is a kit bash you're not going to want to miss. It has over 250 parts of different types, all organized and inspired directly by Star Wars classic spaceships like the Millennium Falcon and a bunch of others. I spent so many hours looking at amazing reference photos and building these parts. I almost felt guilty calling this work because this was a ton of fun to make. And if you like that Star Wars style, these pieces are going to give you that. Not only does this kit bash contain a whole bunch of awesome parts, but it also contains an awesome shader that I made, a shader node group that gives you a whole bunch of control. Let me solo this part, put it in rendered mode, and you shall see. So first, of course, we have the base color, which you could plug an image texture into or anything like that. I'll just leave it a basic white. We've got our overall roughness at 0. It's 100% shiny as long as you have the holes showing. So there is kind of a corrosive or eroded look to this that you can completely control the starting point of the erosion and the softness of the fall off of those edges. You can of course control the size of these eroded areas by playing with the scale. You can also add dirt with the scale control. You can add scorch marks, which basically follow the erosion areas and allow you to give like a burn look, you know, as if parts of the top surface of the metal have been scorched off. You can smooth that out to cover the whole thing, or you can make them really sharp and just right around those edges of the corrosion. You've got ambient occlusion, which adds some grit and shadow in those little tiny crevices. And you've got my patented Daniel Grove sci-fi shader edge detection, which allows you to add some further darkening around the sharp edges, which is just great for hard surface stuff. It makes things look really nice. And that edging can be clean, or you can add noise to it to add some more grit and dirt in those corners. So there's tons of options with that shader. You of course don't have to use that. You can use any material you want, but it is fun to play around with. There's a bunch of Bezier curves for cables, which you can of course control and modify however you like. These, by the way, do not yet show up in the asset browser with previews. That's not my fault. Just Blender cannot render curve object previews just yet. Speaking of the asset browser, all these parts are already asset marked and organized into catalogs. So if I open up my asset browser here, you can see they're all in the Galaxy Greebles catalog here. And we have the little subgroups already pre-organized for you. So that's awesome. Just put this blend file in your library directory, which is, by the way, in your preferences under file path down here. And as long as your blend file is within one of these folders, then the asset browser will be able to access that. I did make some recent videos that cover the asset browser, so if you want to learn more about that, go look at those previous videos and you'll learn a lot. Here's the ship I've been building this week that is using these Greeble parts. I call it the T-Wing, and it's got a bunch of little added details from the kit bash set. The ship itself is really quite simple geometry. There's really nothing fancy to it, but these little parts just really add a lot of style, and they just kind of sell it as a believable object as well as a Star Wars ship, in my opinion. So there it is. Go check it out on Gumroad and blendermarket.com. I might make a second one of these with maybe larger or different type of parts for Star Wars ships. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this one and if you're interested in an additional pack. So that's it. Go grab this product online. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time.